Hello, hello everyone. We're live and ready to go. How's it going? Happy Sunday, creators. All right, we got Annie here already. We got Nicole, we got Ashley. Everyone's showing up. We got sound. You can hear me, hear me, hear me. Here we go. All right. Oh my goodness. So before we get rolling, just be sure you can check up in my original announcements here for the start of the live. So you can kind of scroll up the live. I gave ways that if you resonate with your reading and would like to extend a tip or a gift, those links are there. I also pinned a comment tonight. You should be able to see a pinned comment at the top. Everyone who asked a question tonight gets entered into my giveaway contest for a free 50-minute Zoom tarot reading with me to celebrate my 50th birthday coming up this week. And there's much more to it. So not only on this video, you go on any of my videos, my shorts, my community posts, and you write a reflective comment, you get an entry. That gives you another entry into the golden bowl. All right. And so if you'd like to try your luck at winning a 50-minute reading, that would be amazing. But also in the description, if you would like an hour-long reading, I do have links to that in the description. The description will be where you can find all the other good links. And then, of course, for these particular live Q&As, I'll be back on the 13th of July and the 27th of July, Sunday evenings, 7 to 8 p.m. Central. So Kimberly's here. Hello, hello, Jason. Good evening. All right, we've got some questions. Yes, Annie's going to kick us off tonight. Annie, it's so amazing to have you here. Ooh, I'm going to go with my original inkling here, the Wizard's Tarot for you. You would like a message from the cards, or advice for personal struggles via your guides. So your guides communicating through the cards on how to proceed with making nuisances go away, get better, or how I can resolve the circumstances, improve them, and move on. Wow, Annie, it sounds like you have a lot on your plate right now. So first of all, I hope that you're able, in the midst of dealing with nuisances, able to stay as grounded as possible. But we are looking for your highest and best messages from your honorable guides, your medicine people, your ancestors, those who honor you and the sacred connection that you have with all of creation. Nuisances. Ugh, I get the heebie-jeebie, not good feeling vibe. Okay, there it is. You know, the cards sometimes do like to state the obvious, but I need to get you an oracle card here, and I might get two for this situation. Nuisances are not fun. Valerie's here. Hello, Valerie. Welcome, welcome. So for those of you who've just joined, if you'd like to drop a question or a theme in the chat and get your free mini reading, go ahead and do that. I just work down the list until 8 o'clock hits, and then we're done. And so be sure to not be shy and go ahead and drop it in there. Okay, Annie, you're up. Okay, so you really want to make these nuisances go away, get better, or resolve the circumstances. So we're really trying to focus on here, Annie, what is in your control specifically. Hello, Roberto. Welcome. Thank you for dropping a question. Tress is here. Hello. All right. Oh, Valerie, you're from Ireland. Welcome. I wish I knew. Well, let's see. Failsha? Is that, I believe that's the Gaelic term for welcome. All right. Failsha. All right, Annie. So I got you here with the nuisances. You got the 5 of Swords, and what your guides are coming through and highlighting is that there's some entanglement going on here. And I really feel that the biggest part of this entanglement is mental, because we have the swords here. So I feel like these nuisances tend to have the kind of effect where you would feel like somebody is playing mind games with you. Okay. And maybe somebody truly has. tried to fool you or played mind games with you and kind of sneak away with your peace, right? Mentally speaking. And so your guides are really focusing on the mental part of this. Now, I know it's probably making you feel a certain way, and that's why you're asking the question. But we've got to go into that mental space and get that cleared out because there's some important things here that your guides also want you to remember. All right. So, if there's anything that you can possibly do, your guides are saying it is to stand in the light. You've got the sun card here. This is the happiest card in the deck. This is the card where no matter what is going on around you, no matter what is circling the chaos all around you, you are connected in the most divine way. And just like this character is on the horse, I feel like that is also connected to your psyche, your knowing of yourself as greater than these nuisances that you're dealing with, Annie. You're greater than that, like the sun, okay? And it almost feels like this is very strange, but I think maybe heat has something to do with driving these nuisances away. I don't know if you need to put a little pressure on or if there's like some legal action that needs to be threatened here, if that's the kind of case. Or if it just feels like these nuisances will try to get away with whatever they can for as long as they can. And they're going to try to trick you and they're going to try to play mind games and they're going to try to confuse you. And you are being asked to rise above that. And, you know, if you need to take this wand here that she's using, like it's almost like a solar flare has happened and it's connected to her wand. And you may need to combine that with the power of your word and say something here, Annie. And I say threats because sometimes certain energies don't respond to someone ignoring them or taking the high road or whatever, right? So it's important for you to stay centered and grounded in knowing who you are. But also, your guides are saying, you know, use your power and speak up on your own behalf here if needed. Now, why they want you to do this is because here you've got watching clouds. Lie back, rest, and relax. There's too much stress. Five of Swords is a very stressful card. You're at a point in your life where you're supposed to be doing more of this, lying back, resting, relaxing. This doesn't mean you don't take action. You've got to take action here in this situation with the nuisances, but you're meant to have downtime too. You're not finding that balance of downtime because of what's going on here. And it's all coming in the mental level. So whatever you can do to retrain yourself through the way that even you talk to yourself about these situations, bring light to it and stand your ground, stand in your power, stand in the power of the sun, right? There's also something going on in this whole nuisance experience that you're having. Your guides are saying this has to do with debt or maybe like a poverty consciousness being paid off, Annie. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you and your life. So this is telling me that these nuisances, whatever's connected to this, is some sort of effect on your finances and your well-being with that. Again, scammy, tricky energy, mind games, playing. This could be coming through someone you're close to. This could be coming from neighbors. This could be coming from, you know, you get these emails, whatever it is. But it all has to do with you really working on that poverty consciousness. And I feel like at the time that these nuisances, as you stand in your power, as that clears out, that's where the debt and the money troubles start to dissipate. So it's going to require you almost taking that deep breath and being like a fire dragon. You're going to have to breathe fire into this situation. And that might be a little bit uncomfortable, I get, for you at times. That might be a little bit uncomfortable, but that's what your guides are saying it's going to take. You got to have a little bit stronger ground here, a little bit hotter breath. All right. And too bad if they don't like it, because we need to have them go away. All right. All right. Kimberly has asked next best steps for emerging from isolation. Oh, yeah, guys. Have you ever felt isolated? Right? Have you ever felt like, man, I've been in the house too long, or I really need to get out for a change of scenery and making those efforts? Let's see what your next best steps are here. We're going to go to the Sacred Traveler Oracle for you. Kimberly. Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay, so really what this all looks like to me, Kimberly, is you closing out a cycle here. I'm going to start with the Oracle card. You've got Rejuvenating Rain, clear the past and heal the present. More so, I get as you clear the past, you come to know yourself on a deeper level in the present. So if you're like healing schmealing, I've been healing, I've done the healing, I've done that, over and over and over. I've got that. That's already built into my schedule. What I get here is maybe that this word is kind of wiggly to me, heal. I feel like it's finding yourself in the present moment. So where we live, we've had some rain showers, maybe getting outside in the rain and just letting it cleanse you, right? Letting it clear away some things. It's getting to know yourself also in uncomfortable situations or situations where your comfort might not be at 100%. There's a bigger energy going on here. You've got the Death card. This is Scorpio energy, number 13, endings. You're bringing an ending to something. Finally closing the chapter, closing the door. The eyes on the wolf are closed. And I feel that the wolf is like in a very like peaceful, released kind of state where it's like, finally, right? Now, we could look at this and say, this is a wolf that has passed, right? And I do feel like these next steps that you take are going to come with a level of discomfort because it's your growth. Okay. So I do get that you're uncomfortable. I do get that part of you may feel like that's not the Kimberly I know because you're getting to know yourself on a whole new level right now. But you've got to get outside that comfort zone and you got to go into those edges a bit more. So your next steps are to take the risk. Your next steps are to take the leap. Even if that is just a part of it, like you go out the door and you come right back in, right? You want to practice branching out here. The other thing that's so important, and I think this actual energy may drive you into this being worthwhile for you. If you have any second guesses, it is the King of Cups. It's emotional balance. That's what this is bringing for you. You need to be able to express yourself emotionally, confidently, and not just even here like what I'm doing. All right. It needs to be around other people. It needs to be around other people. And so those environments that are emotionally supportive, might I just say the poetry nights that you've spoken of before, that is coming out. Like my heart starts to move forward when I say that for you is coming out, and but also challenging yourself to be a bit more vulnerable. Okay, to be a bit more vulnerable. You're clearing the past. You have these endings. Certain chapters are ending here. You're getting to know yourself in the present. That's the underlying thing. So your next steps are getting to know yourself differently. This is also in the astrology for Saturn and Aries right now. It's like, who is this person? Who is Kim? This is not, is this me? Right? It's kind of that feeling. So you're actually going to move into the discomfort. That's your best next steps, Kimberly. All right. Whew. Okay. Teresa is up next. It looks like Teresa and then Roberto. All right. And then Valerie. Okay, we'll get you. I know Valerie's hanging on. It's late there. But we got Teresa. What more can I do to make this latest venture a success? What more can I do to make this latest venture a success? All right. All right. Let's get you this is the magical messages from the fairies. These decks all came out tonight as the ones for this group and what they want us to use. Okay, so Tressa, the messages I'm getting for you is that you are in, what you can do is understand yourself as a master, a teacher, an educator here with the Six of Cups, but it's education that comes from the heart, speaks from the heart, and really connects with others. This could also be the mother-child relationship shown here in the Six of Cups, right? Utilizing, because you're saying, how do I make this a success? You show your relationship with your child. You share your learnings that you've had, mother and son, what it means. And you share from the heart. You're being encouraged to communicate as much as possible with the Ace of Swords. The universe wants you talking about this, sharing about this, orating, like your spoken word is so important about this, personal reflections on this as much as possible. And then what's really interesting here is, so these are some great tips. It looks like everything's on track here, but really then what you're being encouraged is just to be yourself, Tressa, just be your natural self. It says this situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. The basis for your personal power. So this latest venture that you have going on is meant to help you feel more and more empowered. It's beautiful energy. That's what we go for here at Creators on the Crest. So this energy is saying, yes, more empowerment, more empowerment. There's a natural education aspect to this. So if you have not blended in education into this, curriculum into this, that's very important. It comes from the heart though. Okay. So don't let the mental mind take over and be like, oh, I got to teach something. I got to put every little detail down. No, this is doing it much more off the cuff from the heart, and just keep talking about it, keep sharing about it. Lots of sharing of celebrations, I also feel, is very helpful in your situation. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Teresa. Wow. Okay. Roberto, welcome to Creators on the Crest. First and foremost, I love when new subscribers join, and I hope you find a second home here at Creators on the Crest and in the community here. And what's ahead for you in the near future? Okay, so we're going to peer into the potential energies. So I had a really cool Frequency Friday live once where I talked about different kinds of energy. Gosh, I can't remember what date it was or anything like that because I've done so many. But in my live list, there's one about energy like kinetic, and I'm sensing that for you. I'm sensing that you, Roberto, are very, very good with energy. You're very familiar with energy. All right. And so looking into your future, there's a couple things coming up, but I'm also going to get a Sacred Traveler card here. I am sensing a little bit of a theme here, first with Kimberly, now with Roberto, where community is important, getting out is important, taking the steps is important, collaboration is important. Roberto, you got 3 of caretakers community. You're supposed to be networking with others, moving alongside others, just having conversations with others. Again, caretakers is cups. This is heart energy. This is not those forced kind of conversations or some sort of like sales pitch or something like that. This is heart to heart kind of conversations and experiences that I'm getting here. You have quite a legacy, Roberto, to leave. You've already created a lot of that, and maybe you've kind of seems like maybe you've course corrected in some areas of your life, but now you're really going to work with others in leading this forward to the next level. You're extremely determined. You got the mountain here, and this is to me like the ultimate creator's journey, right? So we know that when you climb to the top of the mountain, everybody wants that view up at the top. Okay, Roberto, but you have to go through some of the more shadowy aspects of the mountain here. This is the strength card. This is connected to Leo energy. Leo season, so we're in Cancer season, then it's Leo season. It might be a really important time for you. Might be a really good time for you to be connecting in community with others. This is what looks like is coming up for you. And I just get the simple words like no fear, no fear. And I feel like this is a theme. Roberto, you also have this amazing ability. There you are, Roberto, the wizard working with the energies. Look at this, the energies of the cosmos. Walk in beauty. Walk in beauty. You may have the ability to enjoy the finer things in life. I'm kind of getting a little bit of a Libra Virgo energy here. I feel like the best part of your year this year is coming up. We're looking at late July through October. All right. And this is a time for you to really enjoy your community, really enjoy working with others. And it's going to make the shadowy parts of the journey up the mountain feel a little easier. All right. So yeah, we can be strong, right? We can be strong and tenacious and everything, but it sure does help to have a couple of like-hearted, like-minded people around us. So if that's something that's not in your environment, I would recommend trying to establish that and setting that up over the next month. Could be joining a meetup group or something like that, because it's like important for people to witness what you do and your own magic, okay? And that has the ripple effect outward. And also the ability to face and navigate some of the harder trails up the mountain with beauty and grace, and being able to feel empowered as you're doing that. And that's looks like the energy coming up for you. It feels like no fear, go grab it, get to it, you got it. Yeah. Thank you, Valerie. I know these cards are so cool. Oh, Tina's here. Hi, Tina. Yay. I love it. Everybody's here. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. Valerie, you're up. Can you ask if I sense you moving houses soon? You're a divorced mom waiting on a housing transfer. I'm pushing it now. Okay. I have heard that it's kind of tricky there in Ireland right now, with some of the housing issues going on, and for the native Irish people. So very interesting. We're going to go to the Wizard's Tarot for you on this. Moving houses soon. I'm sorry to hear about the divorce. I don't know if that was recent or a while ago, but that's always tough to go through. Going through that and then going through another big life change like moving, that can be tricky. All right, let's get you a magical fairy message as well. The themes are really popping. Every time I do these Q&As, it always gets rolling with one person, and then I start feeling similar energies in other people. You guys have very specific, unique situations, but the energies are similar here. So in the immediate future, Valerie, I'm not getting a move. We've got the Hermit card here. This is a slowing down, maybe more of a step-by-step kind of pace. The good news about the Hermit, I call the Hermit the master magician of the tarot, even though there's a magician card, because the Hermit knows when and when not to internalize, so that the Hermit keeps the inner world very clear. And so as you're going through something as stressful as needing a new home, or, really wanting this to happen, we also don't want to, you did say you're pushing it, but we don't want to push it so hard that we push into the wrong house, the wrong home, the wrong situation. And so I don't know who exactly you have to work with, but I do feel like here's that Three of Cups, right? This is that community and collaboration card again. I'm specifically sensing females. Some females, I don't know how it works in Ireland because I'm not as familiar with real estate, right? So I don't know if you get a real estate person, if you go through the government, but there's a female or one or two that are going to relate to this. This could also indicate support of your friends, leaning into your friends for support during this time. But I do get there's at least one female related to this whole situation who is going to get your specific case or have it hands on it somehow. They're going to resonate with it because of their own experience. And here we got perfect timing. This is the right time for you to move forward. Just don't push it too hard. Keep your wits about you. Keep your inner wisdom. If something falls through, that just means the universe was like, that was not good for Valerie. That would not be the place. There was an energy there that she shouldn't be around. Let us bring in the right thing. but I do feel allies around you, which is very good to have at this time. And especially like friends and supportive females in your life that you can lean into and really gain additional support from. So I do think it's coming. I don't think it's coming in as short as of a time frame as you were hoping, but it's coming and it's going to be right. It's going to be the right match for you. Um, there's a lot of like what I see is kind of like clouds and then a clear patch, clouds and then a clear patch again, and your journey is through one of those clear patches. Okay, but it's going to be a timing thing, so there's going to be some trust there. And I'm getting the number 3 within 3 months. Within 3 months. I don't get 3 weeks, I get 3 months. So hopefully that's helpful to you, Valerie. Thank you so much for coming on and asking a question. Ashley is in a rough patch right now. The rug was pulled out from underneath you with someone. You're recognizing repeating patterns inside yourself and looking for some answers or guidance. Okay, we'll go to the wild wolf for this. Looking to be guided through difficult situations. Something maybe shocking or surprising has happened for you, Ashley. Okay. Yeah, you see the patterns. Oh, okay. I see here. I'm going to actually go to the Lover's Oracle with you, since I feel like this is pertaining to relationship, and all the cards are just, yeah, they're like, you know. I feel like your gas tank's on empty. Aha. Okay. Oh, okay. So we've got a couple messages here for you. So first off, let's acknowledge the 4 of Cups, contemplation. The rug has been pulled out from under you. The good news is you now seem to, with this asking of this question, be in a place where you can clearly reflect upon what has happened. Okay. And now that's important because that means that you have somehow processed some of the emotional energies here. You are not as quick to trust right now, and that's okay. I want to let that be okay, because I feel like there's some sort of guilt here. Like, I don't know if you're kind of maybe judging yourself a little too harshly. Like, should I have seen this coming? I should have known there was something, an undercurrent of something going on there. You're looking at all of this, and you don't like everything you see, and that's okay. But we also want you to, in this journey, okay, yes, be honest with yourself, but in addition, allow yourself some compassion here with the Ace of Cups. Okay, it's so important that first and foremost, you keep your cup full. So if someone has pulled the rug out from under you, that gives me the sense that like you were maybe holding your cup and the cup spilled. And so one of the priorities is filling it back up with compassion. So if you're being a little too hard on yourself, judging yourself, feeling guilty, those kinds of feelings, that's normal, that's natural. We're going to validate that, and then we're going to almost, I get you, look at yourself, like think about your child or a sibling or someone that you just have a lot of love for, and imagine them going, if they were going through it, what would you say to them? And you're supposed to say those things to yourself. Okay. Say those things to yourself. Afford yourself the compassion. And no matter how big or how small the situation is, the most important thing for you to do is fill your cup. It also, you got this card from the Lovers Oracle, and it says, don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. So again, yes, be honest with yourself. See where, if there were any red flags, where did I ignore the red flags, right? Or did I, or was this just, one of those things that feels like another lesson, right? Why do I have to learn it? Why I have to go through this lesson again? That pattern, right? And feeling maybe guilty about that. Like, how did I attract this in again, right? There's also might be a little bit of fear in you that something to do with romance And will you have it? Will you feel it again? And you're getting a yes on that. So that's coming up, romance. You know, what I always do, if this is a romantic situation where the rug was pulled out from under you, let's say it was, or something you cared about or invested in deeply, how can you date yourself in this circumstance? Take yourself on that nice date. Treat yourself or afford yourself what you would have to the situation or to the other person where the rug was pulled out. Fill your cup literally by filling your own cup. Take yourself for coffee, tea, enjoy some time for yourself. That's really important for you right now. Um, you said you're in a rough patch right now. I do feel the energy's lifting for you. I think in another 2 weeks, something's going to happen that brings clarity to your mind, and that will provide some relief. And then in about 2 months, you'll start feeling better with this whole thing. All right. We're just going to roll through. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going here. Woo! We've got Nicole up. I believe my soul's purpose here is to heal ancestral trauma. What advice would my ancestors and source give when struggling with guilt, when drawing boundaries with others during healing? Ooh, there's that guilt, right? Got to fill that own cup. But let's see what your specific circumstance is. Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And just props to you for actually standing in this and saying, yes, this is ancestral. This has landed on my shoulders here, right? And we're going to get a fairy message here as well for you. What is the advice from ancestors and source for Nicole struggling with guilt when drawing boundaries? Oh, yes. Okay. So sometimes we look at the tough stuff first here. We've got the 5 of Wands up here. Okay. So here, Nicole, we're acknowledging the conflict and we're acknowledging this in your body. The 5s make the shape of a star, a pentacle, which also represents the physical body. So we're acknowledging something going on in your body here, your body even feeling like it's attacking itself at times. All right. And that's all tied up in the ancestral trauma in the DNA. You are literally working on clearing your DNA with all of this. And so I would expect, I'm no doctor, as you all know, no medical doctor, but I'm a soul doctor, right? And what I feel is going to be your signature knowing is when your body starts feeling better and things that have always been problems in your body are done, that is tied to this clearing that you've done here. So as you work through this, all right, now you might say, okay, yeah, we know this is how things feel. Like, can't even take a breath. Everybody's watching everybody, like this could represent family members and like the harsh dynamic. 5s are challenging, 5s are tricky. Has an impact on the body. But how do we do that? Okay, so here we have the Chariot. We do that by maybe invoking some of the Libra energies out there and trying to get in a balance. Okay. Now, I do also get this is the card of Cancer. It's Cancerian season. And if I'm remembering correctly, you have a Cancer North node. Okay. So you are moving into these energies of being able to not only like be happy when you set a boundary, but to understand that you're setting boundaries out of the highest love, which is your connected creator source connection, your love for yourself. This is a card of self-care. It wants to be in balance before it moves, but that doesn't mean it can't practice. Remember crabs, they move side to side sometimes, analyzing different things, picking up different bits of information here, Nicole, and I feel like that's what you're doing. You could be doing that for physical purposes. You could be doing that for healing purposes, but it's like everything's there. You just might have to peek around some things sometime to kind of get where the clear path forward is going to be. Eventually, though, the chariot does represent forward momentum here. So you're kind of in this place of this has all come together. I'm at this vortex of energies, and this is challenging. It's very challenging, and I feel the heaviness of guilt, right? If and what's interesting, in the chariot card in the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, the sphinxes actually look like they're stone and would be really hard to move, and that's the energy of guilt, right? So you kind of got like this little challenge going on where you got to unfreeze these characters, bring them back to life. I'm like getting some, like, how the Ice Queen freezes them all, and then you do the act of love and compassion for others and yourself, and then everybody unthaws, and then they can move. That's how I feel the energy's working for you. And you're being told to ask for what you want. Let the universe and other people know what you need. And there's a little inner child there that never had a voice, little inner child that was never able to speak up. They couldn't ask for what they needed, let alone what they wanted, right? And now you are being that inner child's voice. And that is so, so, so important. There's so much love kind of bursting out of this message from the universe to you. All the green in the card, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay. You guys are have some heavy things going, but this is energy, and energy is mutable. It can change. So definitely trust yourselves in this. Karen's here. Hi, Karen. Yes, I'm in landscape. I do this because this is a night for subscribers. Vertical lives tend to get more people that haven't subscribed yet. So it's a great way to get new subscribers, but this is kind of a special night for subscribers. And the landscape lets me kind of hold up both cards, and it's just easier. So yeah, I like to do it like that. All right. Oh, yes. Hugs. The moms are hugging each other in the group. Virtual hugs. Oh, how sweet. Oh, okay. I'm getting to the next question here. Courtney, how did I not see you? Courtney's here. Yay, yay. Okay, just a general reading for your highest and good right now from Spirit. Okay, Courtney. It's so nice to see you. I was thinking about messaging you, especially if I didn't see you tonight. I was like, I'm going to have to reach out to her to see how things are going. But I see you've been putting your own content out. It's amazing. Aligned Rebel. All right. Highest and best from Spirit for Courtney. We're using the Wild Wolf, and we're going to get you a Sacred Traveler Oracle as well. Whew. A lot of leadership coming up for you. A lot of leadership, Courtney. That's what's coming up for you right now. All right, so here you are. There's this definite acknowledgement of responsibility that you've taken on. I feel like it's responsibility for yourself, accountability for yourself, which is absolutely where we want to be as adults, like taking responsibility, because from that place we can be empowered and we can take the reins of our own life and move it forward. But now this feels like, ooh, I have a lot of eyes on me. So I know you started up some groups. I know you got people you're working with, and they might really be looking to you to say, okay, like, how do I navigate this? She has so many good ideas. She's such a leader. This is also acknowledging the burden that you do carry. The 10 of Leaders is the 10 of Wands, and the Wands is carrying some sort of burden here. And this paw print here in this particular deck actually looks like wood. It looks like it was cut from like a tree. So we've got the wood element coming here. We got the wands element. We got the fire, the transformation, and the responsibility. So the message from Spirit is acknowledging that the responsibility that you feel in life may be extending from just yourself to feeling responsible for a group dynamic, right? And that's a whole other level of things here, Courtney. So that is being acknowledged. They also want you to remember to have a little discovery, have a little curiosity, have a little fun with this, with the Two of Wands. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to take the road less traveled. Don't hold back with taking the trail, energetic trail, emotional trail that feels most important to you. Again, we've got a forest here, we've got mountains, and then we've got the sun in the background, right? And so there's a lot going on here. But at the same time, you're on this journey of not only self-discovery, but discovering how community can come together and work. And it's a really hard time for anyone leading groups right now. Any of you that are leading groups, small groups, large groups, whatever it be, people are working out so much trauma right now in so many different things in so many different areas. Obviously, we see it in the chaos, right? That it's a huge responsibility to be able to hold sacred energy in a group and just to allow it to be discovery and maybe like talking to your audience in a way that they feel that they can discover and uncover things on their own journey, right? So maybe utilizing some language along those lines, Courtney, in some of your groups of like, let's discover, let's explore this together, right? Let's discover what this might look like for us, or how my path might be a little different than your path, but we still have a common thread. We're still aiming for the peak of the mountain, so to speak. And then also for you personally, I feel like we've talked about your dynamic in with a group situation. Courtney, for you personally, I feel like this message is just for you. It's for little Courtney and how little Courtney always could get into this vibe, joy and delight, right? So, with the kind of work that you do, Courtney, in Aligned Rebel and with Blind Tribe, you're dealing with a lot of burden and grief, right? And those are heavy energies. But the universe would like to invite you to open your heart to joy. Spirit would like you to open your heart to joy, laugh as much as you can, delight in the experiences that you have, even those parts of the journey that feel a little heavier. Opening your heart to joy. This is also feeling like just fun stuff, like the music that makes you feel good, the sensations that you appreciate in life, your favorite dessert, things like this. This is what is coming through, like being able to enjoy those things in a very present way and opening your heart up to those situations. So, yes, a lot of responsibility, yes, a lot of discovery, but also to counterbalance that, opening up to joy and delight, right? So that's beautiful. Thank you for being here, Courtney. Oh, cool, Valerie. Yay. Okay, we've got FEFEMG. Hello, greetings to you, FEFE. Does my husband want to be with me or Angelica? I don't know. He says they are friends. Ooh, do we have a three-party situation here? Ooh, whew, we're going to the Wizards Tarot for this one. All right. I don't know if it's Fifi. I'll just call you Fifi. Is that okay? Fifi MG. Here we go. Okay, Juan. What's up with Juan? What's up with Juan here? And he's got somebody that he's saying is a friend, but you're married to Juan. He's your husband. Is he straying in his energies? I'm going to get one more here from this deck here. This one here. Okay. Again, we have some common threads coming up, even though this is like strictly a relationship question. Juan is sitting here in this Two of Wands, Fifi. So to be honest, I do feel like he is looking at two different energies and trying to uncover for himself, how do I feel when I'm with my wife? How do I feel when I'm with this person? I am not seeing here that I am not seeing the action, like some sort of action toward Angelica other than friends. I don't see that here, but I see like the mental thought process going on. I do think it's fair for you to explore this further with him and open up more conversations. Remember in Courtney's reading, we got the Two of Wands and it was about discovery. I think you need more information than he's telling you, okay, for your own comfort, and you deserve that, okay? You deserve that. Where did this friend come from? You know, how long has he known this person? Did he know this person before you? What is the dynamic of their past, right? There's a lot of information here that I feel you may think you know, but you need to have more conversation with him about it. These are tricky circumstances, so sometimes it requires you rising up and being willing to open it up. Here's the Chariot again. I clear the cards, I shuffle the cards, and we have the themes coming out, yet in a little bit different way for you here. This Chariot, I do feel like is not moving yet, but I think in the next month, you're going to need to clear some of these energies or you're not going to be feeling very well. All right. There's also an element here for you, Fifi, of like really taking care of yourself through this and loving yourself through this. Look at this lotus flower here on the Chariot itself. The lotus flower to me is a representation of grace. You need to give yourself grace. It's almost like I can hear your mind sometimes saying, I'm not perfect. What if I say the wrong thing? What if I mess up? I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. And there's a little bit of a panicked feeling there. You would want to see if you can relax and get into the energy of grace, knowing that you also do deserve to know what the heck is going on here if this is your husband and you're feeling a certain way about it. The Chariot would also ask you to trust your own intuition. And I got that on the Lovers Oracle too. And there's this picture here. And on the back, it says, look inside yourself, examine what is causing you to feel this way. So, of course, we always do go with the best practice of, okay, I'm responding to something my husband's doing. I'm responding to something my wife's doing. Okay, right? Insert whoever it is there. I'm responding here to something my husband is doing. Let me look inside myself and see why I might be responding that way. Have I been betrayed in the past? Is there anything there that might be holding on or hooking on to me in the energies that I need to let go of? So I'm going to look inside myself and I'm going to check that. You may have already done this, Fifi, but if you haven't, look inside yourself. Is there something there that makes you feel like, right? Is there a history he has with this woman? Is this, and then the information needs to be coming in from the communication. So yes, you're going to look inside yourself. And yes, it's so important that you open up the conversation with him and start asking more questions because you're his wife. Okay. And if something doesn't feel right, like to you, it's time to open it up and let's get some of these cards on the table because I don't feel like you have all the information here. But what I do get is that he's looking at this. I don't think he's taken any action here. Okay. I don't think there's been a physical action taken, but I think mentally and emotionally, he's considering different things. You also got, and I feel like aside from your husband here, you got this card. Look at the beautiful picture there. I feel like this is just for you with you. Okay. So outside of your relationship, this card says the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. Now, I'm wondering if upon the self-reflection, you aren't feeling a certain way in your relationship. Maybe you're not feeling fulfilled, regardless of what he may or may not be considering with this other woman. Like it applies there. It applies to how you feel worthy in the career you do or the children you take care of, right? This keeps showing up as like the past is behind you. That's why it's important to look inside yourself and just make sure there's no old wounding there that might be kind of holding on. I do think that that's important, but I also want to say, don't let that prevent you from opening up the conversation with him, even if he gets a little uncomfortable here. Okay. Like I said, I don't feel like any like action has been taken other than maybe just talking and considering things. But that doesn't mean it's okay. All right. That doesn't make the energy aligned and sound. And that's where you're going to have the conversation. Good question. I know. Oh, I know that journey is really, really challenging, right? Whew. Thank you, Annie. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for your feedback. Yes, thank you, everyone. I appreciate everyone who's shown up tonight. Tina, okay. Roberto, sensing something big coming. Yeah, Roberto, there's more. It's like, yeah, building up for you. I definitely sense that. Yes, thank you so much. Oh, Valerie wants to get to the countryside. Yes, Valerie, me too. Me too. I want chickens. I want to grow my own food. I want all of that. I don't want neighbors too close around me. Yes, and if you didn't know it already, this is just a quick reminder that if you've asked a question, even if I don't get to it tonight because I'm still scrolling here, but you get entered into the golden bowl to potentially win a free 50-minute tarot reading, personal, just for you via Zoom, okay? So your handle, your YouTube handle is going in the bowl, and then I'll be announcing the winner on July 4th, which is this upcoming Friday on my Frequency Friday Live. So even if you can't make it, it's 10 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time here in America. So if you can't make it to the live, be sure to watch the replay, because what if you win, right? We got to contact each other here. I always try to message people, but sometimes, you know, if I can't connect with who you are, be sure you listen, because you might be the winner. All I'm going to need is your email and we'll get connected. And I have an email also. You can email me, Stephanie at Creators on the Crest. So if you are the winner and you're like, but she doesn't know how to reach me, you email me, Stephanie at Creators on the Crest. And I'll say all that when I do the drawing, right? If I don't already if I'm not already connected with you. Speaking of that, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Creators on the Crest. So if you're on those platforms, find me there. Okay, so Ratik, hello Ratik, how are you? Welcome to Creators on the Crest from India. Ooh, yay! I have one friend in India right now, and she's amazing and doing amazing things. So it's good to have you here, and I'm glad to see people from all around the world tonight. This is awesome. And you are saying, how will my IER result be, positive or negative? Okay. So there's two choices there. IER result. Okay, yep, I got you. IER result for Ratik, please. And I don't know what IER stands for, but that's okay. I'm just looking into the energy, and I'm going to get a sacred traveler for you as well, Ratik. Now, sometimes when yes or no questions, positive, negative, yes, no questions are asked, I kind of get a sense of both paths, of both possibilities. I feel like whatever's going to happen with this result, it is going to require that you be patient and you be strong. You have major energies involved here. I don't know that this result, Ratik, is going to be what you want it to be, or everything you want it to be, or it's going to be delayed, maybe. Okay. You got the Temperance card here. This is Sagittarius energy, but it is the kind of energy where things are still in the mix. Like, is it going to take longer than you're expecting to get this result back? Perhaps. Maybe the scales are still tipping here a little bit for this particular outcome. And so that's what it feels like to me. Like, you're going to have to be a little more patient, and maybe that's getting you overthinking a little bit about this. And that's natural. I would do it. I know I would overthink in a situation like that where I'm like, I need this. I kind of feel like also there may be, what it feels like to me in this result is that there may be a question of, do we need to retake this result? Do we need to redo this test or whatever this is, this exam or whatever? I got the Strength card for you. You have two major arcana cards. You have two major arcana cards that are fire energies, Leo and Sagittarius here. Patience and strength, measured connection to this situation. If this, I think it's still up in the air. For some signals are crossing here is what it feels like. See this infinity? something is still happening here where it, like the calculations, something is mixed, okay? Something is mixed in the cosmos. But I feel like if you maintain your strength and you maintain your courage, that whatever this result is, you are committed to taking passionate action for it. Whether that means you go for it again, whether that means you've been given a diagnosis and something else, you know, is going to come in next as a challenge, that you meet it with courage. So this is what I get here, Ratik, for you. All right. Have courage, have strength, be patient here, and most of all, trust yourself. Trust yourself that positive or negative, or the characteristics that you might attribute to that may or may not be what they seem here. Things are still in motion here, all right? Sometimes when things don't end up the way we want them to, it's because a course correction came in to take us another direction. I'm feeling that in your energy. And also remember, you always have options. I'm kind of getting the feeling like whatever the result, you always have options, you know, and that maybe to leave that open. It doesn't feel like an end all be all here for me with your question. But it does feel kind of annoying. Like I'm getting a lot of energy bubbling up from the heart here. Okay, we got it. We got Ratik. I'm going on down. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to have new people here. And you guys are just blended in so beautifully. You guys are just like such creators. I can tell already. Karen, and then Tina, and then we will call it a night, okay? All right, Karen, we're going to the Wild Wolf Tarot for you here. What do you need to know to pick a house? My guides got to help me make the right priorities. And you said you may end up in Missouri after all. Well, your guides are letting me know here. Woo! Okay. We're going to go to the Fairies Oracle here for you as well, Karen. What does Karen need to know to pick a house? Your guides got to help you make the right priority. Some of you are dealing with big moves and big changing homes and all of this. Whew, I'm getting hot just thinking about it over here. It's a lot. Responsibilities everywhere. Okay. I am getting, Karen, your guides are saying it's okay to change your mind. So if you think you're going one direction, but something better comes in, it's okay for you to change. This is the Eight of Wands. This is also represents like, maybe like you're going down one way and you think that's going to be it. And then something better just swoops in. Okay. And I feel like this is going to be very obvious to you. I don't think you're going to have to like look for it or guides, where's my message? You know, it's going to come in right in front of your face. All right. That's the Eight of Wands energy, change. And it's just saying, don't be afraid to change direction. So if you think you're going one way with a home and something better comes into your purview there, which it'll like get your attention, it's okay to change it up a little bit. Your guides are saying to me, what's really interesting, you have a major arcana here. And it's the Fool card. And in this particular deck, it says innocence. But what I really get for you, Karen, is that it's almost like a clarity of innocence. And what I mean by that, the Fool is the 0 card. And so this is what I call 0 point. And it is that place where you are fully in creator mode, fully connected to creation. This is the energy of each of our souls when we decided to incarnate here. Okay. And so, Karen, it's almost like you're going into that 0 point energy. So you're connecting with a part of your greater being. Okay. This isn't in the conscious mind or anything like that. And your guides really want you to work with this. This is also the power center of where your art comes from. Okay. So you may know it because you may get that sense you feel when you're in creative mode. And that's where they want you to be to make the decision about the home. They want you at 0 point. It's as if you are going to birth this home into reality, okay? Like it's there, like it's out there already, but you are connecting to it in a way, and also the land has something to do with it, birthing it in a way that is fully connected and creative, where you will find it from that perspective. It's definitely going to happen. I mean, it's happening. You got travel, an upcoming trip proves to be life changing in positive ways. So I know you traveled before, right? Because you were on trip one time when I was doing lives and you're like, we're in the car, right? I know you had a trip. This is not the trip that's being referred to here. I know that was recent. This is something coming up, and I think it's your actual move. I actually think it's your move, the travel during your move, life changing in positive ways. And look at this. She's illuminating like the all the buck's horns here with light. And I feel like when this place comes in, or this change happens, like, or like one night you go to sleep and you and your husband are like, that's the one, and then the next morning someone calls or something comes up on your computer and it's like, boom, what about this? That's what you want to go for. So your guides are saying just stay in the 0 point, get in that place, right, where you're really in touch with creation, because you're going to be catching that, and then it's going to be so life changing for you. Antlers are important for another reason for you, huh? For Aaron to be able to do some hunting. Yeah, the land is important. I got that. The land is important. The land is importante there. And I think it has to do with the land being healthy and sacred as well for you. All right. Oh, all right, Tina. Thank you so much, Karen. I just reread Tina's question. I'm like, ooh, Sagittarius strawberry moon. Okay, so Tina, you felt a huge release since the Sagittarius strawberry moon. Are my spirits guiding me to my final life path? Yes. All right. I love the question. I say yes because I love the question. Okay. Yes. Okay. We're going to go with the sacred traveler for you here. Let's see, the Sagittarius strawberry moon. All right. You actually have, Tina, a very important personal mission for yourself for your final life path. And here's where I'm going to kind of take a risk myself and mention to everyone that I am working on creating a membership. All right. And I am really putting the pieces together and really trying to stay focused on getting that. And it's going to be a private membership community on my website. It's going to be real easy. You get the link, you go in, you have material. We're going to do webinar. You're going to get a personal reading. It's all kinds of stuff. Okay. It's coming. I don't know exactly what is coming, but it's coming as fast as I can create it. And it's going to be along the lines of Tina's kind of taken us into it, because this is going to be for women who are spiritually aligned and spiritually already aware, but maybe circumstantially stuck of like, can I see my next part of my path? And something very personal and specific is coming up for you, Tina, here. And I get the ending. The strawberry moon brought the release. You got the 10 of Swords. Part of what I feel here is in this ending is the ending of depleted energy, and not even from a physical standpoint, but from more of a emotional soul level. What some of this feels like to me is release that was important for you to do, because you have some relationship ties that have been, and this can be family, friends, that have been kind of pulling on your energy. Okay. You might even describe it as dragging you down. Maybe when you're around the people, you feel drained, you feel a bit held back, or you feel misunderstood. And so this is coming to an end. Now, this could be because in the Sagittarius strawberry moon, you reset your path, you reset your goals. Sagittarius is all about setting a new goal. And your goal is, here's that 5 of Wands again. This came up with Nicole as well. This is the ancestral clearing. This is feeling that conflict. This is your decision whether or not to participate in it. Okay. So sometimes what happens when we're ancestrally clearing things is like all the karma is there, and you're feeling like you want to resolve it. You want to take it one way. But there may be a family member that going the complete opposite way, and they're not going to get the direction you're going, okay? They may not get it this lifetime at all. I think that's coming to an end for you, of you letting go the possibility of like someone else coming along on the path that you're on. And this personal message for you is because you're meant to enjoy your final path. You're meant to enjoy. I'm getting golden, like golden light, golden years, golden beauty, golden, 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 just wants to be said. Okay. And it's like lighting up for you. You're meant to be in this golden energy for yourself. And it's like your peace. Okay. I do think that there may be a little bit more of a bridge to cross. So sometimes when we have an end and a release, there's little residues. You've got crossing bridges here. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. I'll tell you who's a great bridge of all the astrology signs. So we look to this time, we look to this astrological energy, and you can check your own chart for this. Capricorn. Capricorn can build a bridge. Okay. So if you have Capricorn energies in your chart, lean into those. That's where you want to go. Look at Capricorn, or we've got, what is that? Is that 10th house? Oh, is that right? Scorpio, Saggy? Yes, 10th house energy. You want to look for the 10th house energy, the Capricorn, because that's going to help you keep moving beyond the residue that might kind of be clinging, like especially if it's family, especially if it's ancestral. It has a way of getting into all the places. Like what I was feeling for Nicole was the DNA. And I feel that's like that for you too. I almost feel like those are you too, especially, but Tina, you're going to be like reprogramming your DNA in this final path of your life. And it's going to give you a lot more energy for you. And you're meant to enjoy that like it's gold, it's precious, it's golden. All right. Wow, what cool energies. Yay. I'm going to read all the comments as soon as this process. I'll make sure to get you all entered in the drawing. We've gone a little bit over, but it's been so amazing to hang out with you and see how everything overlaps. Be sure, if you didn't already, I'm sure you did, because I saw a lot of likes on this and I really appreciate you doing that. But I had such a good time tonight, even though I'm sweating. Even though I'm sweating over here. I love you all so much. Thank you so much. And, stay tuned. Frequency Friday coming up on the 4th. I'll continue to release other videos throughout the week. I'm still in the middle of the zodiac signs. I just did Capricorn, so Aquarius is coming up next. So, just keep watching. But Cancer's birthday is here, so I got to do a Cancer reading to wish all the Cancers a happy birthday. So there's a lot going on. So stay tuned, everyone. From my heart to yours, I am so grateful for you, and I hope to see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.